Good. This looks great. Bradner's hasn't shaved. He looks like he's fucking 40.
I know, I haven't changed, dude. Oh my gosh, my hair grows so fast, it's crazy.
You're becoming a man.
You're actually lucky. You're lucky, dude. Took me till I was like 20 fucking 7 to grow like a good beard.
I can't. It just has like the ugly middle phase that I don't like.
No.
Like
Yeah, this is. I mean, that's what I mean. I just need this. If this grows in, then I can have a beard. But this part of my face does not grow in. It refuses to.
You just fucking
I won't be doing a beard anytime soon, due to the nature of my jawline being gorgeous now. Now that I have nothing to hide, I will no longer be having a beard.
All right. Let's fucking run this.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to Faded Town, number one Pokemon podcast in the world. These are facts. Look them up on a book, Google them, Pokestat them, go to your local library, go to your COVID vaccine place. They know our names.
Nope, not.
Oh yeah, true.
I know who I am.
They know you. You went there twice.
I did go there twice. That's true. They do know me.
They know you, dude. Yeah, we're on our way, guys. Like, I feel like these vaccines are running in. We could be playing Pokemon soon, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It looks like most states are doing like open to everybody starting like April. Basically.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. There's a lot of people in my city that are getting it, and then I go try to apply. And they're like, no, not you. I
mean, don't worry. I wouldn't worry. It'll be soon because I got an email because I'm still registered as a Florida resident. Saying that like Florida's opening to the public like April like 3rd or something.
Okay.
Oh, that's hype.
And Ohio's I think today, like literally.
Yeah, I'm like, just give me that shit. I don't know. I just don't. Tired of sitting at home, I guess. I don't know, but I don't really do anything anyways. So.
Don't worry, I don't do shit either.
Yeah,
same here.
I've been vaccinated for a month, and I was like, I'm gonna go get Korean barbecue, and that was it.
Lucky. I don't even do that. I don't know. I need to go hang out with friends, dude. It's been too long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. Pokemon. Is it a sad day for us? How did players come? I know Rahul didn't do too great. What about you, brother?
No, I did bad as well.
Oh
yeah.
my god, we're cursed.
What was your final record? Or like, how deep did you go?
I won round 1 and then lost the next 2.
So basically, same as me. We both got knocked out same round. Losers round 2.
Yeah. I was so tilted. I just so bad versus the Scorch. I was so mad when I lost that. And then I lost a mirror, which like whatever, mirror's like pretty even, but I was so tilted that I lost to a Senna Scorch.
Yeah, for me, I basically like played against the Temple Blowns. Game 1 was super like back and forth, but I ended up winning it. Game 2, he ended up not putting down a second 2-prizer. So I had to go. My only out had to be like boss up one of the 2-prizers on his bench, or the only one on 2-prizers, kill it, hope I get the Mawile out of my prizes. And he had like a fucking like 20 card hand at this point, so it was almost a guarantee that he has something in his hand that I could slam down and win the following turn. I didn't get the Mawile, and if I had gotten Mawile, it would have been a sure game. And then the third game, I got donked. and then I got a bye in losers, so I didn't even win a set. I just got a bye.
Oh my god.
And then into my bye, I go up against Eternatus Poison, and then game 1, he just just steamrolls me. Like it was just not even close because Eternatus just shits on ADP. And then game 2, I went Mawile and hit 3 Crobats, not 1, not 2, but 3 Crobats after he'd already played his first Crobat. So now his hand is Eternatus, VMAX, and Boss, and he goes draw for turn, attached to the Eternatus, VMAX. He had already had Dark City in play, so he goes retreat and boss up my Mawile and kill it, take 2 prizes. I'm like, okay, that's whatever. I go into my turn. I go GX. It goes back to him. He goes bench another Eternatus, capture energy to that one, get another Eternatus, and then Sycamore. And I was like, are you serious? And the game just ended there. And then he found his 1 Zigzagoon to ping my ADP and kill it that turn as well.
That sounds...
1 Zigzagoon, no Nats, nothing. Just 1 Zigzagoon was in his list.
Oh my gosh.
So I lost. Was pretty tilted after that. And then I took a fat depression nap and then I was like, all right, we're good. But speaking of Players Cup 4 is announced.
Was it?
Which is very quick already,
Yes.
honestly.
That's awesome.
Which on the TCG side, everything is fine and dandy. We'll start April 26th. We go to May 26th. Same thing as normal. Keys log in between January 16th and April 16th. Keys will be dispensed on April 23rd to your account. We start playing April 26th at 11 Pacific, and we go until 11 a.m. Pacific, and then we go until May 26th, 11 Pacific, a.m. Pacific. Same thing. So we got a month qualification period. Should be a lot of fun. Same system as always. But the thing that does change this time around is when we move into the second phase of regional qualifiers, 256. This time, no buys, none of that shenanigans. We go straight into 9 rounds of Swiss.
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
9 rounds of Swiss, which makes it feel like an actual regional. It's not like lose and go home. Like 9 rounds of Swiss means X3, you're probably dead. X2 ones, you have an okay shot maybe. X2 is what you're shooting for probably, or better. X1 you could probably ID. I forgot about that also. So X1, X2, some will sneak in. So you still only have one loss realistically, but you can prep for the field a little bit better. Double Elim just feels like a different way of preparing. And also with like knowing the brackets a little bit ahead of time, you can kind of prepare for your opponent theoretically. But in Swiss, you just pick what the strongest deck is and you go in. Like that's the difference between Swiss and Double Elim, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So having Swiss, and then it takes us to a top 16, which then those top 16 will get seeded into a double bracket. You don't change decks, but then you get seeded into a double bracket. So then it's just kind of the luck of the draw at that point. But it's a much, I think, cleaner system than 256 because some people will obviously like, you can still drop and probably leave, I assume, if you don't do well. I don't see why they're force you to stay, but it definitely feels better than playing Double Elim.
For sure.
I'm down. Maybe I'll qualify. Maybe, guys.
Let's go.
It should be.
Maybe you'll actually try this time. Last time you just took a little break. You let the young bucks try.
Let us get there and then bomb. Obviously.
I literally, I bombed the first 20 something keys because someone told me ADP was good and
oh my goodness.
But this time, dude, I can't see myself not playing a battle styles deck. That might be my downfall.
I mean, there's a couple of good ones. I'm not gonna.
Okay, I haven't looked at. I haven't played anything. Have you guys touched?
We can talk about. Yeah. I can
talk about it. Jump into that.
Well, before we jump into that, the last thing about Players Cup 4, I guess, is like if you're. I don't know how many VGC people watch this, but I noticed this earlier today. VGC Global Finals and their qualifying weekend are the same weekend, and they're 2 different formats.
Oh gosh. Why do they do that?
If you make Global Finals, even if you bomb out, for example, or you want to play. There's like no guarantee you have time to have a new format team ready.
Yeah.
Which really sucks for them. But anyway, so last night was Chill Series 24. Chill tournaments have really been blowing up. A lot of people participated. There was a bounty on the line if you played Single Striker Shifu or Corviknight and top 8'd. You would get 50 packs extra for Single Striker Shifu and 100 extra packs for Corviknight, which was crazy. Because it's more than first, honestly. This was the second biggest online tournament outside of the Limitless Majors and the Atlas Pogs and stuff like that, which on a weeknight, this was 399 people participated last night.
Wow.
I myself included participated. It was fucking crazy. It was a lot of fun, honestly. I ended up starting 5. I played Corviknight because I wanted to chase that bounty. So I got to 5-2, and I ended up breaking my last 2 to not make it. In both matchups, I think I had pretty much auto wins, and I just was super unfortunate I didn't make it because the Corviknight list I played, last second, I decided to throw in a heat-proof Bronzong and said that if a fire deck plays Cramorant, I'm probably fucked. But if they don't play Cramorant, I'll just take an auto win because I saw people were playing Victini VMAX like in a very aggressive stance as opposed to playing more of a Temple Blounce list, which I did hit the last round. It's just my hand was a Giga Brick and I couldn't get more than one Bronzor down at a time and he just kept killing them, which really sucked because I was a complete and total auto win. I like legitimately cannot lose with heat-proof. And then we did see 2 old decks come back and do well. We saw Decidueye win the event, and then we saw Eternatus take second with playing weak guards. So the guy did not change anything about his list, just put weak guards into the deck and went ham. ADP is doing well once again, but ADP has changed its list to a more aggressive stance by playing like heavy ropes, potentially playing cards like Empoleon to stall for a little bit and have a water attacker to deal with Victini VMAX. A card that people have not talked about that I'm playing in my ADP / like in my ADP Bronzong, I guess, is Wishy Washy. The baby Wishy Washy does 130. And so it one-shots Victini VMAX and Set to Scorch comfortably.
For how many?
2 water and a colorless.
Okay.
So no matter what you play, it's got to be 3. Napoleon is just a more versatile card, but it's just a 2-prizer, which I don't like. Aurora Mewtwo did well. ADP obviously dominated. Green's Dragon Ball has been doing well. Victini VMAX is currently the hot deck that everyone's playing because it's very aggressive. The skeleton has remained pretty much the same from other fire decks. It's just Victini VMAX turn 2 can do a lot of damage really, really quickly.
Yeah.
For just 2 attachments. Green's Dragon Ball is back in the meta. Both their Shifus are not underperforming, I'd say. I think they're just performing. I don't think enough people are playing them, to be honest.
I mean, Single Strike saw a lot of representation. It was the second most played deck, and then Rapid Strike was the 4th played deck. So they're getting played, but I mean, as is at the beginning of the format, everyone loves the decks, but no one really has a great list. So that's one problem with them. I personally, I don't really think the Rapid Strike one's very good. I think it's a cool concept, but I mean, it is literally just a reprinted Golisopod, and it didn't get buffed at all. And that's really unfortunate for the card because everything else is getting buffed, but this card didn't get buffed at all. It's still doing 150, and Pokemon now have over 300 HP. So you can't, like, not even 2-shotting the fire Pokemon, not even 2-shotting. I mean, there's ways to get around stuff like ADP with Big Charm, but I mean, that's why they all lost to the E-Turn guy because he had 3 weak guard. They didn't even 2-shot him. They had to 3-shot it.
I mean,
so
I think
I don't know. I think
I think Single Strike is super high rolly in my opinion, just because like you usually get like 1 or 2 good attacks and then you're donezo. Like, but I'm more of a fan of Rapid just because. Well, okay, so let me rephrase this. I don't like the all-in like bonsai like multiple Dedenes, multiple Crobats, like go through your deck, super go ham, Golisopod type of deck. I like the build that I posted with Octillery and Cheryl because it really felt like I don't know. I feel like in this format, there's a way we can break it so that if your deck can outlast what's going on the other side. For the first time, I think in the game's history, like since ADP has been printed, I think you can outlast decks reliably without playing Luke Metal as a card. Like, that's how I've been feeling with the format. Like, I don't know if that's completely accurate. I'm just like kind of crazy. Like my Corviknight deck was outlasting decks, other VMAX decks, like I was outlasting ADP. Sure, some of the games where ADP high rolls me, I can't do shit about that. Like that just happens. Like my 2 losses before the bricks were just ADP like Omega high rolling me, like Intrepid Sword into 2 energy, like that kind of thing. Like I can't do anything about that. Like that's hard. But I feel like you can outlast decks in this format, and Rapid Strike does a good job of that because just doing 150, being able to heal and pivot seems very strong. Or like discarding all your energies and giving yourself a free heal is also super good, in my opinion. Everyone's playing Mew, which is really fucking annoying, obviously. But I think everyone has to play Crobat and Dedenne, so you can almost always set up for a 4-prize turn is how I look at it.
Yeah, my problem, I wasn't playing, my list that I was playing was kind of funny. I built my list, and then I looked in Azul, built a super similar list, or one had done well. I was playing one build that played Cincino, and like it was like 4 level ball, 4 Cincino, and of course the rest of the stuff. So I set up Cincino and draw through your deck. And my main problem was that it just seemed like the matchup against Single Strike was so awful that you have this 350 HP guy, and then your opponent just kills it. And I mean, there's ways you can get around it. Like you can, you don't evolve into a second VMAX, and you make them take a ton of prize cards. You can stamp them into 1. Their deck is pretty weak against stamp, but that matchup kind of turned me off. And then when I played the other matchups, they felt okay. It felt like ADP was unfavored just because, I mean, ADP is just a really good deck, and often they'll be able to kill one of your Urshifu's or the Dedenne before you can evolve it, and they only need to kill like 2 Cincinos, or they can kill 1 Cincino in a VMAX. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of the deck. I mean, it's obviously not a horrible deck. It's a super cool concept. It's like Zoropod reimagined in some ways, but it's not all that. I mean, the damage is just too low for it to be a great deck.
But the one thing I do want to touch on is like the reason I like it, or like I like the way they printed the cards, is like they're not overbearing the format. So that means that if this level of power creep continues, it'll be pretty nice, honestly, at the end of the day. Like when we'll have like a more balanced, like 2-shotty, balanced-ish format where like even decks like Eternatus have to adapt from their semi-linear strategy and figure out like how to deal with this stuff, which I'm a huge fan of. I mean, as soon as ADP is gone, I think the format opens up in a brand new way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like
because we'll lose ADP, Welder, and Cherish Ball all at the same time.
And it's like level ball kind of opens up the door for
Isaiah, did you see my Orbeetle deck?
Orbeetle?
I I saw the title of the video and then refused to click on it.
Dude, I literally took 6 prizes in one turn. Watch my fucking video. It's good. Okay, you guys are gonna laugh at me. I know everyone's gonna laugh at me that's watching this, but I genuinely think Orbital Rapid Strike is actually a good deck. I actually think it's insane. I'm gonna work on the list a little bit more. I think the deck is fucking cracked. I feel like I have a good matchup against almost everything, including fire. Like, you're basically just Orbital Walzing for a little bit, and then if you don't get O-Code, you're just gonna sit there and fucking Cheryl every turn, dude. You just Cheryl every fucking turn. Gale Force Cheryl, keep your pivots going. Like, the damage stacks up, and then all of a sudden they just lose. And it's so funny because you're stamp proof, you're effectively Marnie proof, like, you're vibing. Like, it's actually such a cracked deck, and like, I know my list is not even close to perfect, and I have a lot of things I need to improve on with the list, but it's such a cool idea.
I like it. Cause I remember when Orbital came out, I'm like, that card looks good, but it's just not good right now. So,
yeah, so you guys should check out the video. I mean, I think I did a pretty good job explaining the deck, and I think I did a pretty good job winning with the deck because I won both the games that I showcased. And I like did it in like a very dominating fashion with Orbital. So also like things like Santa Scourge, you have G-Max Wave, they just fuck them up. But segueing that, store tournaments. The next round are announced. People are still playing. I think round of 512 is going on this weekend. But
I did win this weekend, guys.
Let's go, Captain.
Let's go.
Captain. I want to talk about it because it's a weird situation where, like, I want to say, like, the players that are on my team are not top players. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to knock anyone on my team or anything. But I think the approach that we took was a lot smarter than trying to win. You know, a lot of people would take like whatever you're most comfortable with, you know, go and try to win 3. It's basically a best of 9. You got to win 5 matches out of 9.
It's a long day too. I think it's fun, but it's crazy.
Best of 3s. It's when they told me that, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long day. And like, since I was team captain, I pretty much tried to. There's 3 games going on at the same time, so I'm literally trying to play out 3 games at once while I'm coaching, I guess. But it's just like we won. We barely won. We won like 5-4. Our ADP player won all 3 of his matches, and then we had a Colosso player. He snuck one out, and then we had Decidueye sneak one out. And like, I think like I was trying to talk because there's other people in the chat and in the store, and they're like, we should play different lists and we should play better decks, and like. I was like, I broke it down. This is how I broke it down to him. Like, we're not top tier. We're not top tier players. So like to assume that we could just take like ADP, Eternatus, and Cinescorch and just go beat other players that that play those decks, I think is wrong. I think the approach that we should have is we should have a deck like ADP that is like a 50-50. Can high roll. And then take 2 decks that have auto wins on something. So like a Decidueye that can just auto win. Like the goal is to get 5 wins. So like if Decidueye can steal 2 wins or steal a win, I think that's the play. And then you play something that can like auto win a Cinescorch or Eternatus. Like if you have a Colossal that can auto Eternatus, like that's a free win. It's like that's my mindset.
Don't play Colossal. That deck is bad and does not beat anything. But
dude, I
see what your point is.
But like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, just try to take 2 decks that have some type of auto wins, because the idea is like you need 5 wins. Like if you can get free wins, you should take them. I don't think, unless your team is very confident in themselves, I don't think taking 3 decks that have 50-50s is like the play for this type of strategy. And that's why I try to explain to them, and they're like, oh, that sounds right. But I'm like, I don't know. That's me coaching in my head. I'm like, all right, we need 5 wins. We need I want to steal a couple wins somehow.
Yeah.
We put a lot of work into thinking about this. And then we made a matchup chart. And we were pretty convinced Eternus was the best deck in format, so we ended up taking 2 Eternus, and then our third deck was Luke Metal, because the weaknesses for Eternus were, what was it? The weaknesses were Decidueye, and we think Luke Metal is favored for Etern, but it's fine. It's like a fine mirror. So it was Decidueye, and there was one other mediocre matchup that it was Pika. Pika was even. There were those two, and it felt like Luke Metal smashed those two. And even though Luke Metal loses to Fire decks, we were like, well, if they bring Fire decks, then we're confident with Etern anyways. Right. So that was the kind of strategy that we took going into it. But I definitely see what you're saying, Zach, where it's like if you can take easy wins, then you can do it. So
yeah, it's just about getting this 5. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's what I was like. We'll see what happens. Like, I think I'll go with that strategy, and if we could just keep rolling with it, it'd be insane. It'd be so funny. I don't know.
I think you guys need to win one more to get playmats, like the next round of playmats.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I think there's two. It's 256 playmats, and then it's 32 playmats, and then number 1 playmats.
Yeah, it was I was surprised when we won. I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised. I was like, but like we won 2 out of 3 in the first round, and I was like, oh man, all right. Then we won 2 out of 3 in the second round. I'm like, all right, we just cannot get swept in the third. We had just win, and like our Decidueye guy gets donked 2 games in a row, and I'm like, oh, that was free, and we just lost that. And then our Colossal guy just gets ran over. I'm like, just pray for the ADP high roll here, guys. And he got it on like the last turn, and he won. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe we won that. Like,
broken.
Yeah, you guys got a bye, didn't you?
No, we lost. We're out.
Oh, fucking better than Bradner out here, boys. Dude,
let's go. I kid you not. The Pika we played against, he flipped 1 tails against our Eternus in this series of games. He went 4 heads, 3 heads against Kenny, and then he went 4 heads against Friedman. It was crazy, dude. This guy was on fire.
Dude,
and then 2 games. We Marnia Blown, and then we knock him out. He has nothing. No Oricorio, no Blown, and then he killed our Eternus twice. Like, how did that happen?
That's broken, dude.
Dude, we had our Colossal guy. He had 3 hammers in hand against ADP. ADP went first, got 3 energies on board. He goes hammer, hits all 3 of them. Boom, boom, boom. Takes all 3 out. Fucking, I'm like, oh, we can't lose. This guy had 2 cards in hand. He was just like Metal Saucer, something, water energy switch, and I'm like, oh, he just has it. It just doesn't matter. He threw 3 hammers, hit all 3 of them, and he didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I don't know. Like, that's the strategy I'm going with. I hope we win. I think it's the best strategy in my opinion. I think free wins in a format where you're just trying to get a couple wins and your matchups change like every time. Like, it's okay if you lose to 2 decks if you can auto win 1, because technically, like, it's just weird. Like, I was doing the math on it. It's like, technically it's okay. It's okay to lose 2 out of 3, which is, it's weird.
I don't know if that's okay. It's definitely not what you want.
It's not what you want, but in certain situations, it's okay. As long as your other players on your team can have good matchups. Like, it's a, I don't know. I was breaking it down, but it would take a long time to explain. Well, you'll just see us in the fucking winners bracket, and then I'll try to explain my whole strategy. I mean, someone has to win on the podcast, because obviously we're all freaking losers. You didn't qualify. You both got crushed out of Players Cup 3. He gets crushed out of this. I'm not even playing. I'm coaching freaking, and we get the victory. Maybe that's it. Maybe we shouldn't play. We should just talk about it. We're a lot better at talking about it than we are playing.
True.
Oh god. But we have another team one coming up. I might just go play it.
It's gonna start April 3rd. I think you can start scheduling them, and then they're gonna go until I think June.
Yeah,
I think my store is just trying to like front load. Like, I think some of the stores are just trying to either front load them or get them out of the way, because like I don't know. It just seems like an inconvenience to do 4 at like random ass times.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah. I don't know. If my boys don't play again, which I don't know why they didn't play, but I'm gonna go play with Bradner and wherever he lives. All right. And then we'll at least argue about why we shouldn't play 2 alternative decks. But
exactly.
I don't know. I thought that too. Like I looked at alternatives, I was like, that deck looks like the best deck. I assume someone's gonna play it. Let's just. I
chickened out a Tempo Zard with like 10 minutes left to go on deck check or deck list check for Players Cup 3, and I like regret it pretty heavily. Yeah. I think I should have just gone for my high roll.
Yeah.
Dude, this is your whole every tournament. It was CSC. He was like, "Bro, I should just high roll Blounds." And I was like, "Bro, I should just high roll."
Okay. You cannot tell me the testing was not flawed, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, you're insane. It was crazy.
Zach, every fucking test game, I was literally like turn 1, turn 2ing ADP, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Turn 1, 300, turn 2, 300. It was crazy.
And everyone's like, "Bro, you can't be doing this in real life." And I'm like, "I'm a god, dude. I did this like 6 games in a row," and I'm like, "I don't fucking know what's going on." And then I was like, "I'm not playing this shit. Fuck this deck." That was literally like the exact thing that transgressed. I was like, "I'm not playing this deck."
What do I even do? Oh, I'm upset. I ordered food from Postmates, and I just got a text message from the Postmates. They're like, they're out of what you want.
Sucks to suck, idiot.
Dude, what am I supposed to? Can I cancel this? Like,
you should be able to.
I think you can cancel it.
But they're gonna fucking charge me still.
You can probably do a support ticket.
There should be an offer. At least I don't know about that, but there's an offer on Uber that says, what's it called? You don't get charged at all.
Yeah, you don't get charged, and sometimes they even because they fucked up your order, they can give you like credit if you like just put in a support ticket or like contact a customer service person. I just do it all over text. Yeah, but otherwise, I'm back on the YouTube grind, doing videos every day pretty much. This week it's 5 days, 5 videos. So by the time you see this, there'll be at least 5 decks of battle styles out. Starting next week, I'll be going to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule just because I don't want to burn myself out. Also, I don't think there's that much content to actually be produced. We'll probably transition into like more fun decks, keep the competitive decks rolling. What I can see, I remember back in the day, people really enjoyed my meta breakdowns. There's no real meta to break down right now, but when events come back, like the week before Players Cup or like during Players Cup meta, I will more like use things like Dino data and talk about how things are breaking down because we have all this information available to us, and so we can see how a format is evolving. Because I definitely think a lot of the cards. I think this format is going to be a lot more tech heavy than the last one was for sure. I think techs like Fan of Waves and those things would definitely make a splash in the format. So, like we just saw H/ win a big tournament, and we had
you meant Decidueye, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Decidueye. We Decidueye win. Like as long as anyone played any answers to it, it probably would have gotten smacked. So like some of these VMAX decks, these V decks, like the Victini decks, not playing like heavy Volcanion, maybe that changes, like that kind of stuff. Like it's small things, but even a 1 card change in a list could be what you need to beat a matchup. So, other than that, I don't, is there anything else? I think
I'm going to be posting an article on Channel Fireball on the greatest ADP list ever made this week. So everyone should go check out that article.
Yeah, check it out.
Greatest ADP list ever made?
Yes, it's so good. It's insane. It's so broken. It's nuts.
Clickbait?
It's a fact. It's so good.
Clickbait gets shit done, dog. But yeah, I think that should wrap it up. Zach, if you want to sign us off.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, this man said, "Fuck you."
No, I'm just playing. I'm just trying to think. I thought there was something else I wanted to talk about before I wrap this up. But I got distracted by my fucking Postmates, these motherfuckers. No, I think you guys are right. I think we're good. I'm gonna win the team challenge thing. Bradner's gonna clickbait you with this article. This guy's a TikToker. It's not clickbait. I promise, guys. It's not clickbait. Okay. Rahul's making YouTube content again. Go check that out. Pokemon still hasn't sent us anything. They don't like us. I'm taking it personal at this point. The stream's coming together. I got a new computer coming, guys. We're gonna do that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, things are looking up, boys. I think we're gonna go. Things are just getting better. All right, it's gonna get better here. But for now, guys, I guess we're just gonna scoop it up.